Chris has led us in a study, speaking from Haggai, in talking about the rebuilding of the temple. And after Haggai and Zechariah had motivated Zerubbabel and Joshua, the high priest, and the people, they rebuilt the temple. It was finished in 517 BC, roughly. But then later, Nehemiah heard that things were not all that great in Jerusalem, that things were not complete. The wall was incomplete. Doesn't sound like I'm on. The wall was not complete. The gates had been burned. And so he went to check it out. And so it says in Nehemiah that he went, and secretly he went to around Jerusalem to see what the situation was. And then in the latter part of chapter 2, it says, then I, that is Nehemiah, said to them, he said to the officials, the nobles, the priests, the people, the Jewish people that were in Jerusalem, you see the bad situation we're in, that Jerusalem is desolate and its gates have been burned by fire. Come, let us rebuild the wall of Jerusalem so that we will no longer be a disgrace. And I told them how the hand of my God had been favorable to me, and also about the king's words which he had spoken to me. Then they, that is the people and the leaders, said, let us arise and build. So they put their hands to the good work. I find myself somewhat in the same situation that Nehemiah was. We have a group of men, it wasn't just me, but a group of people who gathered together and assessed what this building needs, what our house of worship needs. And so now I'm coming to you and sharing with you what those needs are and how we propose to address those. Not on? One of the things we need is a good sound system. As we have found out over the past few months. So, that group of people have gathered together. We've assessed what our situation is, and we've come up with a plan, which is what I'm going to share with you. One of the people that is a part of that plan is sitting with us today. His name is Bob Schumacher. Bob, Laura, would you please stand? Bob Schumacher and Laura are here with us today. Bob is one of the elders in Garland, and he has been a construction manager for numerous church projects from Alabama to, I think the furthest west you've gone is the one that's in Stanton now. Is that correct? He's got a project in Stanton. He is going to serve our congregation as construction manager. And he's been very involved already, but he's going to be much more involved as we move into the construction if we proceed. But I want to share with you what our plans are. Just a little bit of history. Design of this building was 1980-81 time frame. It was completed in about 82-83 time frame at a cost of approximately $1.65 million, which in today's numbers would be around 5.6 or 7. We did new flooring in 1998 and new pew cushions. at the point in time when we added the family center. And then, I'm sorry. Then 2014 timeframe, we repainted the foyers. It's been about, this building has been in use for about 45 years with minimal attention given to it, other than what I've just mentioned. The flooring that is in place now has been there about 26 years. So the needs that we've talked about are improvement of the sound, lighting, and audiovisual and live streaming. Technology has changed a lot since 1980, believe it or not, and we're suffering. The speakers that we put up not too long ago were new speakers, and they were because our old system was out of date. The slab, we need to improve the acoustical environment of this room. There's a lot, I'm hearing an echo right now from the stage, and we can make improvements to that. The slab and foundation subsidence, or that the settling of the slab and foundation has become a problem along this wall. It is settled about 3 inches, and we're not totally sure what the cause of that is. So we're going to address that. Flooring is worn and stained, both from time, spills. The hand sanitizers that we use have marred those. And under the pews, the flooring is from 1980 something, and it has asbestos adhesive, and it's not a hazard to our health as long as we don't mess with it. But we're going to have to mess with it. The pews and the cushions and the finish on the wood is old, and some of you have experienced your shirts sticking to the back of the pews because the surface stain has not stained. The surface varnish has worn off. We want to add a cry room, and we need an aesthetic upgrade. So with that in mind, here's a plan of the auditorium, and I'll step through this as quickly as I can. First thing is we're going to move the sound and light and audiovisual controls down to the ground floor where it should have been in the first place. When up in the balcony, the people controlling the sound don't really know what you are hearing. They know what they're hearing, but they don't know what you are hearing. We are a visual society, and so we need to, and with streaming and everything, we need to have a better system. The picture you're looking at there is looking down the stairs that go up into the balcony. They're not ladder. It's not a ladder, but it's not stairs either. It's close to a ladder, and it's very difficult to get up and down. We're going to improve audio-visual, sound, and live streaming. We have a consultant that is gifted in this. Bob Schumacher has worked with them on a number of occasions. They have a project in town that they're working elsewhere. So we're going to be adding some screens that will improve the visual part for this auditorium, plus cameras and things that will help us in our live streaming. Also, you notice down there at that bottom, there's a room that we're taking that is currently the communion prep room, and we needed space for control equipment and things for the sound, lights, and audiovisual. And we're going to be taking that space for that purpose. You see here some photographs of the lobby and along that wall showing the settlement of the slab. We're going to pull out the concrete and hopefully at that point we'll have a better idea of why we're having that problem, and then we'll be able to correct it. But that also means we're going to have to pull up asbestos, do an asbestos abatement, and it ripples into a number of other issues. And we're going to re-space the pews. Right now, they're too close, especially for those pews that are in the back. They don't meet code. They never did. I'm not sure how they got installed and not in compliance. But we're going to re-space the pews and reduce the number of pews. We're gonna modify the podium so that our preacher doesn't fall and break his other shoulder. These steps were never a comfortable angle. They should have had a larger tread. So we're going to modify the podium and also bring the preacher out closer by having a projection here. We're going to redo the flooring, and don't worry about the colors. The colors only indicate the materials, not the color of the materials, okay? We're not going to have green tile in the foyer, but the green represents luxury vinyl planks. The burgundy pinkish color represents carpet. The orange color represents carpet tile in the family center, in the classroom areas. So we'll be redoing all of the flooring, and part of that is response to whatever color scheme we come up with, and that in turn will reflect whatever we choose to do with the pew cushions. Then we're going to add a cry room right back there where Rob is sitting, I think. He's going to have to move forward. And we're going to add a communion prep room. The communion prep room is to take the place of the facility that we're losing by locating control equipment in the existing communion prep room. And it also will keep the communion prep people from having to carry the trays up and down these stairs over here. And then we're going to add some handicap accessible spaces in that section and that section at the back. And we have some spots that are supposedly for handicap accessibility, but they're not flat. They do not meet the code, and they don't have the companion seating that they need. Those are some of the things that are going to be happening to this room at this level. At the balcony level, we plan to close off the balcony, which will reduce the acoustical environment to just the area that's shown in gray here. And it will improve the acoustics. We will also be correcting the problem so that this doesn't come slicing down and take our preacher out, and then we have to go for a preacher search and another funeral, whatever. There's a box over here that looks like it's about to fall out of the ceiling. So Lee Jackson needs to kind of watch it. And there's another one over here that was never used because the balcony, we did not expand into the balcony. There's also going to be some panels on these two walls that are, they cover up the columns that are there, the pipe columns. but they also give us an opportunity to create some acoustical treatment. We're using one of the best acousticians around. He's been in business. He's nearly as old as Bob and I are. So, wow. So he knows his business, and there's going to be some a combination of diffusing elements and some absorption elements mixed in on those two sides to condition the acoustical environment. One of the reasons that the slab and foundation has become a problem is because of the way the water is handled outside the building. Right now, it has started coming into the building, under the building, and washing away the fill that the slab was on. So we're going to be doing a lot of work on the outside of the building as well to try to address these things that are causing problems on the inside of the building. One of those, and you see here, this landscaped area out here at the building is about 10 inches lower than it was originally. So something's being washed away, and we don't know where it's going, but hopefully when we expose it and take out the slab, we'll be able to determine that. Also, we're going to be replacing the steps that go out toward the youth center. I've superimposed a line there that is where the cracking in that stoop is. The stoop is beginning to settle. The arrow points to a step there at the door that's dangerous. It's about 2 inches lower than the door and beginning to cause major problems there. And the problem's not going to go away, it's going to grow. The arrow that's pointing there at the bottom is pointing at the corner of the family center, which is the northeast corner has settled some, and so we're going to use some pilings to stabilize and lift it, and hopefully we'll be able to use all 4 of the doors that go into the family center on the north side. That's kind of the scope of what we're talking about doing. I'm going to quickly go through some photographs and images to try to convey to you what the solution to all of these, and we're doing both remediation, that is corrective work, and we're also doing improvements and upgrading. This is our current auditorium podium. When we finish this, it will look something like this. It's still a work in progress. The colors, we're close, but maybe as we move forward, the color schemes may change a little bit. This is looking at the front from a little further away, and then up closer. This is, if you were in that corner over here, is what you see is the auditorium, and this is the way it would look. Notice at the balcony level, that's where the wall is that will shut off the balcony from this space, and it's a mixture of those elements that diffuse the sound and some that absorb sound, and that conditions this environment so that we get less echo and bouncing back and forth. And then there's a cry room. You see the window for the cry room on the right-hand side of the picture, and I worked with some young mothers to decide what that cry room should be like, And so we think that this will be a real blessing to young mothers and ladies that have babies. There's another, a similar image, except it looks down this aisle here. This view would be from where the sound booth is going to be, in that section up there. This is a view from where I'm standing, looking at the back. And you can see the wall that closes off the balcony. Another aspect of the closure of the balcony is that there will be less power consumption because we won't be having to heat and cool it as well as this space. It just needs moderate conditioning and a lot less light. One of the things that we're doing with the lighting here is changing it all to LED, but the lighting in the balcony, it will be much less of a requirement, a lower energy requirement than what we're using now. If you're standing in that corner over there, you would see this, and I think in this image, it's a better view, gives you a better feeling for what that wall at the balcony level is like. And this is a similar view if you were standing over here where Lee is. I hope these are encouraging to you and excite you in terms of what the potential is. And this is, of course, you're going to ask, well, what's it going to cost? The direct construction cost is the actual concrete, everything that goes into the building. Non-construction costs includes a lot of the technology, the sound systems, the acoustic, the audiovisual equipment, the internet connections, everything that's involved technologically to make this happen and make it work properly. The soft costs are fees for consultants. We have some of the best consultants. Electroacoustics is doing our sound, lighting, and audiovisual. My firm, the firm I work for, is the architectural firm, and Bill Johnson is our acoustician, and as I mentioned before, he is top-notch. And mechanical, electrical, and plumbing is contracted by us, the architect. Total estimated cost is $2,525,000. So how do we pay for that? The cost, there are people and families who have known that we needed to do something and have been putting seed money ahead to prepare for this step. We also have some families who knew that something was about to happen and that something was in the works and have committed $450,000. And that leaves a balance of about $1,560,000. Whether we raise that directly, immediately from the congregation, or have to finance it, that's the amount that is the balance that we will need to come up with. The schedule that we're talking about is the special contribution July 27th, which is a month away. So we'll be asking for help with that. There's the old saying, it takes a village. Well, it takes a faith village to come together to build this church family, but also to build this facility and upgrade this facility that we worship in. The construction we anticipate starting somewhere around September the 1st. Hopefully we'll be able to move in by December the 14th. Construction being what it is, I've included the word approximately because things happen. And so this is our projection. And I hope that you will pray about this, think about this. I'll have some boards out in the foyer if you want to take a closer look at some of the images that I've shared with you. I know it went very quickly, probably not as quickly as you'd hope, but hopefully you'll be able to get a look at the direction we're headed. I'm going to come back to this passage. Then I, Nehemiah, said to them, you see the bad situation we're in, that Jerusalem is desolate and its gates have been burned by fire. Come, let us rebuild the wall of Jerusalem so that we will no longer be a disgrace. And I told them how the hand of my God has been favorable to me and also to the king's words which he had spoken to me. Then they said, let us arise and build. So they put their hands to the good work. In closing, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for listening and being patient with me today. But also, this congregation needs to understand, not only are we thankful to God, but we should be thankful for this congregation's generosity, its foresight, its vision. When the church was built here in 1954, that was a vision. When it was expanded and the second auditorium was built in the 70s, that was a vision. And the congregation stepped up. Bond issues were put out there, and payment was made ahead of schedule. When the family center was added, we paid it off ahead of schedule. When we renovated the youth center, it was paid off ahead of schedule. So we have to be thankful that God has blessed this congregation, not only materially, but with a heart to give and push the vision forward. Thank you.
There is one thing that I think ought to be mentioned, and that is no money that is designated for mission work will be used for the building, and there will not be any of our budgeted funds changed. This will not impact our budget in any way. This is all beyond that. But as a former missionary, that part's pretty important.